Hello again, everyone. Zach Attack is here at my WWE Raw review for this evening. Cinco de Mayo Day, May the 5th, 2014. Of course, we got the aftermath of the pay-per-view known as Extreme Rules, or should I say, special event, as WWE likes to call it now because of the network. And as you also see to the subtitle, Shield had a bad night tonight. And it all began on one interesting one tonight. And it all began with the United States Championship being on the line in a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal involving Dean Ambrose against 19 other guys. Zack Ryder, Big Show, all these guys are in it. It was a typical battle royal, should I say. It was kind of a okay battle royal to begin one tonight. We did see the seeds continue to be planted for the Cody Rhodes Goldust breakup, and Cody Rhodes accidentally, or I should use this, accidentally throughout Goldust. Of course, we would see seeds planted even further later on in the evening, as most of these competitors in this battle royal competed twice tonight, especially Dean Ambrose, who, despite all the odds, he was a survivor in the final two as he eliminated Jack Swagger. He's like I said, Jack Swagger, Big Show, and Mark Kimmy. He had to take 5 or 6 guys to eliminate them, especially Big Show was eliminating people left and right. But then it came down to, after the elimination of Swagger, Ambrose walked right into the brogue kick from Sheamus. And Sheamus eliminating Dean Ambrose. Now, if you watched my Extreme Rules review last night, after Rain Barrett won the Intercontinental Championship against Big E, I said, all we need to do now is get rid of Dean Ambrose as U.S. Champion. Well, after 351 days, an impressive one, despite not defending the title that much, Sheamus is now the new United States Champion, 2-time U.S. Champion, which could be the segue to the movement heel turn. The last time he was U.S. Champion, which was back in 2010, he was a heel. So I would love to see Sheamus heel again. And he even said it on his interview. He said, nothing personal. No hard feelings. So could be a hint towards the heel turn. We've all been waiting to see Sheamus, because Sheamus has been in a what? He even said it in his interview. Ever since he returned from his injury a couple months ago, back in the Rumble, he's been stale. Even he admitted that he was in a what. And hopefully, this heel turn will give him a kick in the ass that he so righteously needs right now. A kick in the ass. Little motivation. So now that he's a new U.S. champion, finally a new U.S. champion, we'll see how Sheamus does in the second reign as U.S. champion, especially if and when he turns heel again. So, there you go. And after that match, Triple H came out saying, "Oh, Dean Ambrose, so you lost. But you and your boys are going to wrestle again. You take on the Wyatts tonight." So there you go. On our next matchup, Rob Van Dam taking on Cesaro. Now, last night these two won a match in a triple threat match against Jack Swagger. Of course, a triple threat elimination match with Cesaro getting the victory. Now, Cesaro, of course, lost to RVD in the finals for the IC Championship tournament last week because of the countout. And Cesaro beat RVD last night as triple threat. So this was kind of like the woman match. It was kind of a fun match. Too bad the Albany crowd kind of sucked it because they were chanting boring. They don't know the art of good storytelling. These guys were just telling a great story. Some great action from these guys. These wrestling fans are fickle. Wrestling fans, and they are fickle. Just look at the internet wrestling community. And I'm one of them. But I'm not as fickle as most of the internet wrestling community. But anyway, but once RVD got rolling again after the great offensive show by Cesaro, the crowd finally got back into it after the boring chants, trying to troll the show. Enough with the CM Punk chants already. He ain't coming back. As for those comeback rumors, I believe it when I see it. Like the Sting rumors. I haven't seen him yet, so I haven't believed that yet. But I believe in the Shield. Despite the rough night, as we would see later on. So, RVD came rolling back, and I do mean rolling back with some rolling thunder, some big flying moves. And like I said, it was a good match between these guys. I think they have good chemistry together. You know, they had a decent match last week. They had a great match when it came down to those two last night after eliminating Swagger for this triple threat elimination match. So, once again, these guys had a great matchup. It's just all kind of tied up RVD in like a trio well move and kind of punched the crap out of him and wouldn't break after the count of 5, causing the disqualification loss on RVD winning by DQ if Saul losing. By DQ after not breaking the count. After just beating up on RVD, he beat up RVD after the match, but Heyman, of course, the Paul cuckoo cuckoo, held him back saying, don't want to get suspended. By the way, my client Brock Lesnar conquered the streak. Like I said last night in my review of Extreme Rules, enough. We know, enough already. I know there's a spiel, but come on. It's done. Don't shove it down our throats even more. So there you go. Now, this is probably an intriguing walk. We didn't see Cena tonight. Yay. Of course, recovering from his loss against Bray Wyatt, who came out and delivered once again another great promo. I'm not the biggest fan of them as wrestlers, but the character, I've said it last week too, with that creepy promo with the children coming out with the choir outfits, the choir coming out singing. He's got the whole one in his hands, not the whole little Johnny thing. The Wyatts is just playing their characters. They're playing the roles to a T. They project a vibe. They project a feeling. And they're doing well at projecting that scary, eerie, creepy feeling that they project to the fans when they get in that ring for, let alone a match or a promo. Like, not just a match, let alone a promo. So there you go. Another great promo of Bray Wyatt. Talk about the kids, John. The kids don't love you anymore. That's John's main audience. And that's why they've kind of had the kids cry and had a little kid, but you can tell the sound effect, kind of weird sound effect, but still, it projected well. So there you go. Wyatt's promo. Now, like I said earlier, in the Battle Royal for the U.S. title, we saw Goldust be inadvertently eliminated by Cody Rhodes, and I set the seeds for their imminent breakup. We planned it since, 2 weeks ago, and planned it in that Battle Royal, and more seeds for planned tonight for the possible breakup as Cody Rhodes would take on Ryback. Or should I say Goldberg? Ryback in 1-on-1 action tonight. Of course, with Curtis Axel, and of course, Goldust and ringside. All 4 of these men won the Battle Royal. But like I said, it was just those two 1-on-1 face-off. Ryback's just a monster. He just beats people up. Kind of like Rusev. But I'll get to him. I think he's next. Anywho, Ryback came in, of course, his big Goldberg-like strength and power. Of course, Cody Rhodes came with his high finesse and his, of course, big high-flying style, some big kicks. He was going for the beautiful disaster kick. He did nail the beautiful disaster kick, but he was doing well until he was going up the top rope for a big move. And of course, the seeds for the imminent codes of Cody Rhodes' Goldust breakup continued again as Goldust was trying to help Cody win, but inadvertently knocked Cody up the top rope, setting up him to lose with the shell shock from Ryback in the victory. So Goldust, well, it's kind of like on an inadvertent payback. Since Goldust inadvertently got eliminated by Cody, Goldust inadvertently cost Cody his match tonight against Ryback. So, like I said, the seeds are being planted for the possible Rhodes brothers breakup. Is continuing on. I think Cody's going to play the heel. You know, and Goldust is a great heel too. Nice plug for the countdown show them all. Top 10 villains. So, Goldust was a great villain when he had the whole, when he first came in, 96, he was a vicious heel. So, I would like to see Goldust heel again, but I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes, the one that's going to turn heel on Ryback. Goldust. So, there you go. Now, on with our next little scenario, next segment. Of course, today is Cinco de Mayo, so we had Los Matadores came out with El Torito with their own little Cinco de Mayo celebration, not just for the holiday, but of course for El Torito's win in a very fun and entertaining WLC match last night. And of course, here comes the Job Squad. 3MB. Well, like I said in my review last night and my Raw review last week, now I shouldn't be calling them a Job Squad anymore. At least they won a match last week. But anyway, they're trying to make a truth. But it was a setup as El Torito's trying to get Candy to Hornswoggle. He beat up and led towards a big brawl, which set up El Torito and Los Matadors getting him out of the ring, just triple teaming. It's an interesting program, it's a comedy feud, but it's an interesting feud. WLC, I said in my review last night on the pay-per-view that the WLC match was probably the best pre-show match I've ever seen. It was just entertaining, it was comedy, and yes, there was a lot of interference from Los Matadores and 3MB that enhanced the match, unlike the countless interference by the members of the Wyatt family, Harper and Warren, during Cena's match against Bray, which kind of ruined the match. But the interference from B&B and Los Matadors in that WLC match helped the match. And it became part of some great epic spots in that match. Unlike, like I said, the interference of Wyatt's in the Cena match with Bray, which got annoying after a while. So there you go. Kind of a fun feud. Continuing on. Now, speaking of stale, Rusev. He's now no longer the Bulgarian Boo. He's known as a Russian who bows down to Putin. Once again, mentioning Putin tonight. You talk about being politically correct. Well, WWE's not so politically correct after all because they're mentioning Putin. Very sensitive. You have Zeb Coulter, who's... I'll get to him in a moment when we get to him, but there you go. And I said it last night on my review. I'm once again mentioning my review. I'm not plugging it. I'm just saying that I mentioned my review last night that Rusev is just a brute who just beats. He's got no personality. He's like the Russian Brock Lesnar. He just beats people up, no personality. So once again, he beat the crap out of Kofi Kingston. God, I feel bad for Kofi. Like they're turning Sheamus heel to give him a kick in the ass. They need to turn Kofi Kingston heel. Kofi needs something to get him back on the good graces of WWE. And yes, Rusev did have to fight a little bit. Kofi did have some great offense. At least Rusev had to actually fight to win this match. But indeed, despite the great offense, the big high-flying moves of Kofi Kingston, he got grounded down with the Rusev Clutch. And of course, the accolade and the tap-out victory for Rusev. Like I said, I have nothing against Rusev. He's just a big, tough guy, but it's just a stale. He doesn't, like I said in my review last night, once again, like I said, sorry, I'm not going to mention my review many times, my Extreme Rules review, mention it many times in my World review tonight, so bear with me here. Like I said on that video, is that Rusev, he just doesn't speak English. He's got no personality. He's just a guy who just comes in, just stiffs, beats the shit out of everybody stiff, and just demolishes them. So we'll see how he goes when he finally loses the match. We're probably going to make him look good for a while, and then they're going to make him lose. Just like Tenzai. They made Tenzai look good. 1 minute, Tenzai was undefeated, looking all Putin tough. The next night, he's a dancing monkey with Brutus Clay. And we haven't seen Tenzai / Albert in a while. Maybe they'll repackage him. Maybe that's why I haven't seen him in a while. Brutus, too. We haven't seen Brutus in a while either. I think Brutus got injured. I think both guys are injured. Maybe that's why. So there you go. Rusev. But I also said on my review that Lana's like the new Sable. That Lana's getting all the attention. Unlike Rusev, it's like the Sable Mark Merrill thing. Sable got more attention than Mark Merrill, and Sable became the star. So I think it may happen with Lana as well. So there you go. Now on to our next scenario with Daniel Bryan, of course, the World Heavyweight Champion, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Scared for his life as, of course, Kane was on the prowl. Despite the threats of every man trying to tell him to leave, Bryan was kind of forced into fighting against Alberto Del Rio. Boy, we stripped of the title because of breach of contract. That's what Stephanie said. But I knew Kane would be involved, and boy, oh boy, he was. Not till after the match, though. But with Kane on the back of Bryan's mind, he was kind of off his game for a while as Alberto Del Rio came in with some great big offense. And I thought there was a great match between these two guys. There were other good matches on Raw tonight. There was a decent match tonight, especially this match. So we're going to for both these guys because they're both submission guys and big on the kicks. A lot of big, nasty kicks from both guys, big insecurity kicks. From both, it was some good action. As Bryan came flying back after being off his game because he wasn't totally focused on Del Rio. He was, of course, focused on trying to get through Del Rio quickly so he can run out before getting stalked by Kane. The ending spot was kind of a cool segment as Bryan, of course, went for his big suicide dive move, and Del Rio got him back down with another big kick. He was going for the cross arm breaker, and I love the way Bryan countered it. As Del Rio was setting up for the cross-arm breaker, Bryan countered it right into the yes lock. I love that great counter. And Del Rio started attacking it. Bryan got the victory. But just then, boom, here comes Kane's music, the pyro. Daniel Bryan went out of there and got back in his car. And I was like, I had a sneaky feeling that Kane was going to be in that car. So Daniel Bryan couldn't get that car to start, so he lifted the lid, and then he put the lid back down, and indeed, I was right. I said it many times before, I have an instinct for things, because I'm a wrestling fan, I kind of can tell when certain spots are going to happen. Indeed, Kane was in that car. And Brie Bella's acting in that scene was just weird. She wasn't even trying to act scared. So anyway, Bryan tried to beat the crap out of Kane, and Kane was just not getting out of that car. It was just a little mopsy in that car. He even got on top of the sunroof, got on top of the car. But then Bryan drove off and knocked Kane off the roof. He knocked him down to the ground off the top. Drove really fast, but Kane, after getting back down on the ground, he set back up, and Bryan drove the hell out of there despite Kane trying to chase after him. Like I said, once again, sorry. Mentioning my Extreme Rules review again. Like I said, my Extreme Rules review last night. This Kane Bryan feud ain't over yet. I'm smelling a rematch at Payback. I'm hearing rumors of a Buried Alive match at Payback. That would be interesting to see, a Buried Alive match. So there you go. See how that goes. But Bryan gets the victory, but Kane haunts him again. So, there you go. Like I said, a lot of people coming about. Like I didn't notice it until I watched it again. That Brie Bella's acting was just off. She belongs on reality television for a reason, because she can't act if her life depended on it. Anyway, on with our next matchup, the rematch from last night, involving the rematch for the IC Championship. Biggie Langston, or should I say Big E, getting his rematch against Rain Barrett. Bad News Barrett tonight. It almost ran the same way as the match last night. The ending was almost the same, almost identical to the match last night. But for what it's worth, it was another fun match, decent match between both these two athletes. Of course, I like Big E as a babyface, and he had an okay win as champion. I think Big E's win was like I said, I say Big E's win as actually champion was much better than the reign of Wade Barrett. Not Wade Barrett, but the reign of Dean Ambrose as U.S. champion, because at least Big E defended his title more than Dean Ambrose. Seriously, Big E defended his title. He was a more fighting champion than Dean Ambrose. That's all I'll say about Big E in defense. But I think Bad News Barrett would be a great IC champion. I guess he will be finally living up to his full potential. He's been going through some setbacks when it comes to booking or injuries. Finally the Bad News Barrett gimmick's getting over the fans, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity to finally make him live up to his full potential. There's another big match tonight, and it was like almost the same ending as last night, with Big E going for the big ending, and then Ray Barrett rolling out of it, getting the big bullhammer elbow. I think it was almost, like I said, the same ending as last night, with Bad News Barrett getting the victory, delivering some more bad news for not just Big E, but for the entire WWE. And I hope Ziggler gets a match against Wade Barrett, especially since Ziggler was cheered a lot in that Battle Royal for that U.S. Championship. Too bad he got eliminated by, of all people, Santino. So there you go. But anyway, Bad News Barrett retains an okay matchup against Big E. Now on to our next segment. Like I mentioned earlier about Zeb Coulter bringing back the signs tonight, his own deportation list. He came out with it with Jack Swagger. Talking about all the people he wants to be deported. And I was like, by this point of Raw, it was like almost near the main event time. And I was like, when's Anna Rose's debut? Because, of course, we've been seeing the Exotic Express videos for weeks about Anna Rose's debut. They said it was going to be debut tonight. They aired the promos again throughout the evening. So I was like, by the time Jack Swagger came out, I was like, this is probably when Anna Rose is going to make his debut. Where he comes. With the crew. Whoa, oh, whoa. That remember the new Fandango. The kind of humming, because after the music faded, the crowd, I didn't hear much cheering when the music hit. It sounded like crickets when it came out, though. But when the music turned off, you hear the crowd going, sucking on the sucker, and just beating the crap out of Swagger, throwing him outside the ring. There was no match, though. That was the only disappointment when there was no match. There should have been a match, but maybe Animals' first big feud against Jack Swagger. Now it's happy-go-lucky gimmick. Like I once again mentioning my Extreme Rules review, like that his gimmick's gonna. I didn't say this on Extreme Rules. I might have said it on my last week's Raw review. This happy-go-lucky gimmick can only take him so far. Look what's happened to Zack Ryder. He went from being U.S. champion to being thrown out of a battle royal for the U.S. Championship tonight. Woo 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 indeed. I hope his last resort show can help him. Because I've seen the last resort show on YouTube. His new rap show was awesome. I haven't seen any new episodes lately, but still, the episodes I have seen, it's been great. Great way to finally develop a character change for Zack Ryder. But anyway, on to our next matchup. Following the Animals debut, I hope he wrestles next week. We got a main event. The Wyatt family against the Shield. Of course, these two have had a great feud. Especially their great match in Elimination Chamber back in February. It almost went the same way as the Shield and Evolution last night. We didn't see Evolution all night. We saw Triple H, but not Orton and Batista. But I should have guessed that Evolution was going to be involved in this match, which they did. Before then, it was just Wyatt just dominating for the. It was another fun match between both these two great teams. It was once again a big war. Once Ambrose looked better than he did as U.S. champion. So I think losing U.S. champion may motivate his character more. So I think losing it may be a good thing for the Ambrose. May finally learn from it and try to motivate, even though his two partners, Rollins and Reigns, are basically the stars of the team. Once again, Rollins came with some big high-flying moves. I can't believe he's still standing after going through the punishment he did last night with the big suicide dive off the balcony last night. Still one was talked about moments of Extreme Wars last night. And to see all those three walking was just an impressive in itself. Then Reigns came in, just dominant on Bray Wyatt, coming with a big Superman punch, just dominant. And later having a match with Shield being dominant, following the Wyatts in it. And there was a lot of big high-flying spots with Harper flying through the middle rope, landing on both. I think it was Rollins and Ambrose just Ambrose on the table. There's a lot of extreme moves and just an all-out brawl again between these two great teams. But the ending came with following the Superman punch on Bray. The triple powerbomb was being set up on Bray, but then hit the Evolution music. Here comes Triple H, Orton, and Batista. Man, Batista's not leaving after all. Even though Batista, he's bitching about how much he's getting paid. And about not wanting to lose the D-Bride. Blah, 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 blah. So there you go. But we did see Batista come out, and then the Wyatt kind of capitalized on that distraction of Evolution, as Shield was too occupied with Evolution, with Ambrose and Rollins doing the high-flying moves on Evolution, and Reigns delivering a Superman punch to Triple H. But that, like I said, that distraction helped the Wyatts. The match was still going on. There was no real DQ because the Superman punch to Triple H from Reigns was delivered when the referee was distracted with Rollins and Ambrose and Batista and Orton. But that distraction, that Superman punch distraction to Triple H was just enough for Bray to capitalize with the Sister Abigail and 1-2-3 victory for the Wyatts with a little help from they got by with a little help from Evolution. Indeed, the Wyatts got the victory with the help from Evolution, who preyed upon the weakened Shield following the match of just annihilating them more with the Hangman DDT from Orton to Rollins in the ultimate insult, as the Evolution did their own version of the triple power bomb to Reigns. This was after Reigns countered a pedigree like he did last week. Like he was being set up for the pedigree again this week by Triple H. He rolled out of it, only to 1 into an RKO, and his mouth was bleeding too. I think he got some big hits. That's why his lip was bleeding. And then, like I said, the insult with Batista setting up the thumbs down, and here comes triple power bomb by Evolution on Reigns. Basically, Reigns and all of the Shield got a piece in all medicine, as one of the Shield got their own triple power bomb by Evolution. So there you go. That's how we end Wall. With the members of Evolution standing above, on top of fallen Shield after losing to the Shield last night. So Shield had a bad night with Ambrose losing the U.S. Championship and the Shield losing to the Wyatts and getting decimated by Evolution. Despite Batista's rumors about leaving, I think this feud should go on. The match was great last night at the Extreme Rules, and I think this feud should go far. If Batista wants to stay, well, this feud should be epic. It should extend to SummerSlam. I'm hearing rumors about, this being the build-up for Roman Reigns against Triple H. Because Reigns is the real star. And also Rollins. Both those guys are the stars of the Shield. Like, everyone's saying that, it's going to be the big breakout. This is like the launching pad for Ambrose. But we've seen that it's more about Rollins and Reigns. And they were the former tag team champions who had a much more legitimate reign than Ambrose did as U.S. champion, despite the fact he held it for a lot of days. So there you go. That is it for my wall review for the Cinco de Mayo Day. See you all later. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. Once again, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your Cinco de Mayo Day. With that in mind, see you later, everybody. See. Yes. Bye-bye. Adios. Gracias.